you to the energy sphere activation session. I would like to say I'm grateful for you being here and taking the time. For this type of healing session, I'm going to be calling this activation because basically I'm going to begin today with you, but every 7 days of this month, we're going to be talking about this entire sphere activation itself, because with the amount of information I'm going to be relaying to you, it needs to be nurtured and assessed in a way for you to take your time to become aware and understand where you are in your life with this integration, with your unity. And so today I'm just going to be introducing what energy sphere activation is about, and I'm also going to present to you the entire steps on how we're going to basically dissolve this information in a way that you'll be able to understand how to scan and upload to your dream is really through these spheres. And I'll be also discussing the difference between the sphere path and the fear path, and how you must be aware of what you are getting into when you finally see your dream, see this fear, because this is about you being in union and contributing and receiving from your own personal planet escapes. Because we all have our individual goals and what we want to see with the vision in this higher realm of love. And so I will talk about those things, and then I will also address a statement for you to finally take this into account and activate this. Now, whichever decision you take, or responsibility, or role, or position, or terms, it is up to you and what you're trying to accomplish with your union and harmony. Keep in mind that when you take these paths, you need to be aware of releasing the masks, those systems, because it is important to be really aware of the balance here. So, your energy sphere, it has to do a lot with your union, the eye, the vision, your inner world with your inner being or your inner child, per se. This is important for you to always keep intact because this has a lot to do with your dream character, the word, and how you go about proclaiming that logos within yourself. And this is something that you come about as your form, the way you speak, the way you present yourself, even with the whole body language. But that's really your entire embodiment of this fear. And so I want you to understand that you may think that you're holding this I of yours, this I am, but technically, who's holding that dream is basically a higher realm of the love that you hold with your inner being, which is with your union. So that could be joy, that could be happiness, that could be, humor. It's important to keep that alive because really that is what radiates and connects all the interconnectedness of who you are, and those around get this sense of your control, your authority, your dominion, your ability to be centered upon that innocence. So, with this entire energy sphere, after this, you'll be much more, either you have started, but you'll be much more integrated, or you will be discovering other aspects of yourself, because this is going to start as an exploration, but then it'll evolve after the 7 days. And so, if you would like to email me about your experiences, you're more than welcome. And so I left you, I had uploaded basically a blueprint that you can start with, and that shows basically to let everything go from the beginning, to get into the center of your dream, to basically become into this sphere and notice your feelings, the light, the awareness, the formation of all this, the reflection, the decisions, and the clarity. And all of that just becomes the whole reality in union. And so this grand entry, when you come about this sphere, you must recognize your dream character, the symbol of that dream, because, like I said, that is the way that you're going to be uploading yourself. And so also be reflected to you, because this is all for you. And so when you're going to scan, you must be acknowledging those spaces of that blueprint that basically starts with a thought, and then it evolves into the feelings coming into light, coming into awareness, coming into formation, coming into reflection, into a decision, and then there's the clarity of all that. So the emotions are very, very, very important when it comes to accessing your sphere in your own planet escapes, because this is where the whole embrace of, like I said, the interconnectedness comes to form and play all around you like waves. And it's something that you can't even deny. It's something that you really want to focus on inviting a daily access to, you know, who and what is at your table, because that is a thought that you can present at the center with your innocence. But if you're not in agreement with your feelings, what's gonna happen is that the other patterns are going to arise as misidentifications, and also, you know, you will be inviting more and more the, you know, disease part of this, which is the not being able to have that stability and healthiness within your dream character. The goal here, like I said, is what the thought is of what you're bringing into that sphere. So every time that you're about to scan yourself and you're making that path, you need to understand what is arising in that structure, like I said in the other videos. And what you're going to notice is behaviors, habits, thoughts, experiences, and a high amount of demand of feelings come into play. And so you can't necessarily deprive yourself either. I wouldn't recommend that. You do have to go through those stages because it depends on the goal you have, but you gotta keep it to that dream character and not look elsewhere and not feel elsewhere and not invite elsewhere, because then what happens is that you're attaching yourself to suffering, to patterns, to masks, and then this is where the latter happens here of these interactions that come into the higher realms. Well, these interactions, such as let's just put it like this, your vision, is the most important integration you want to have with your sphere. That is one. The other interactions is your hands, your listening, your feet, all of these others, what they call senses, are actually the way you come across to your dream. So when you're in this path and things are coming about and you're not really aware, and there's you have this vision, but the thing is that when you're not really seeing with your eyes in this world, you can really lose sight. And I'm not saying physically, like really lose sight, but if you don't take care of your vision of your sphere, that is the mask, that is the pattern that will be given to you, is the loss of sight. Then there's the hands. Where you present the deeds of your vision. And you need to pay attention to what you're scanning in your hands, because these deeds, these works of the vision, if it's not nurtured or cared for, then you have the pattern of betrayal coming into contact. Then you have your feet, where it makes the way as you scanned, it makes the way to the uploading of your sphere with your union. If you can't keep up with the track of time, you must assess how, with that blueprint I uploaded, how you'll be able to keep track with your feet, because this is the point of contact of your form, of your vision. Every time you move in, you're making moves. Movement is basically you're making contracts. You're creating memories. And so if this is not cared for properly, like I said, the structure of that pattern is going to be true deception here. So you must maintain the security here. Because there will be a lot of waves happening. So you want to protect the way and what is necessarily needed for your dream character and the connection between you and the spirit. Because you deserve what you deserve. And here you have to flow like water, as I've said before. But when it's time, you have to take that form and understand what is needed. Because truly, none of it exists until you proclaim it. And so, when you are going upon this interaction of your word, your dream character, and what is happening, yes, of course, systems are always going to come about your creation and destruction, of course. It is the natural ways of the world. But that will be the only way of your growth to determine, how much do you want this goal? How much do you want to see and feel the sphere? And so, yes, there are many, many spheres you can access to here. Many. But you must realize the balance of that, of wounds, of lies, of doubts, of faults, of what holds you back. And you must remember the control, that dominion, that authority that can transform and create the way of this vision. So when you're making about this way, understand, yes, you are to gain, but you must lose all of that, of those systems and configurations that that seek to assess those feelings and misidentifications that you are holding at the table. Not everything of those, you know what those are. Shall have interaction with you at the table. Because you must remember that if it's something that you're willing to accept, then you're willing to accept what it requires. This is how much at the heart you desire to have this union. So I hope you understand much clearer what this fear is. See where you are now, the direction of that word, that dream character. Assess the thought and take the interaction. It doesn't even matter what that looks like because it's for your benefit. If the feeling or the misidentification or the pattern at the table is not making it towards the sphere and you are not in agreement, then you must release it. So I want you to assess today or tonight, what do you feel? Mostly, what are you feeling? And how much in agreement and time are you spending with this feeling? And is it cooperating with your union in this fear? How much are you keeping up with this feeling? Is it creating any healthy positivity, focus, stability? Is it balanced? Is it fun? Is it carefree? How does it serve you? Is it an agreement with your dream character? What kind of waves are you having with this feeling most of the time? Are you able to express? Are you presenting this feeling most of the time? Are you in control of this feeling most of the time? Or are you just standing there because this feeling is all you know? When did this feeling even start? How long has this feeling have been in this story? So I would like you to explore those questions and the blueprint I uploaded for you. And I would like to make this statement. And with this statement, I leave you here with this activation. And I will see you in 7 days. The path towards your sphere. This is my declaration and my offer. I, state your name, am choosing today, now in this moment, to open this door to my planet escapes. I am in control and conscious of my union within me. I shall obey my word and not be led astray. It is with love that keeps me centered in innocence. In spirit, I shall care and demonstrate the interactions of what that means on higher realms. When these feelings arise in waves around me with you at the center, I shall remember to hold fast to this fear. In authority and dominion, you present to me the ability to release and form these patterns of feelings and misidentifications. I shall remember the way. I vow to protect and love my inner being and release these masks. I am grateful for this award to be able to lead, contribute, and receive in this sphere. I am here and now. I am identifying and feeling the light of my dream character, and the direction is leading me higher. In honor of these gifts, I will take the interactions to be at grace and the reality I deserve. Thank you.